Dust is finally settling tonight from what turned out to be a rather tense display of free speech in Lansing.
It began with a crowd estimated at more than 3,000 demonstrators right outside the Capitol. Union members and others spoke out against things like taxing pensions and giving emergency financial managers sweeping new powers.
Then later in the day, protesters gathered inside the rotunda and struggles followed after some of them refused to leave.
What had been a day of relatively peaceful protests ended like this in a street just outside the Capitol. State police wrestle one man to the ground. Another officer in the background shoves a young woman to the street. It all began a couple hours earlier inside the rotunda. Some 70 people vowed to stay inside the Capitol until their complaints about the governor's budget plans are heard.
So this is the only way that we're going to have a voice.
But Capitol Police warned them they would not be allowed to stay the night in the rotunda. When a handful of the protesters argued, police made their first move, arresting 6 of the protesters and dragging them out of the rotunda. That was warning enough for most of the rest, who left peacefully. All but 5 who decided to stay, including Jonathan Jones of Kalamazoo.
If they continue to take our rights away from us, like the right to peacefully assemble, I think that it shows that we are moving in a direction that I think is un-American.
We should not be kicked out. This is ours. We should be allowed to sleep here, and it's our right.
Eventually, police removed the reporters from the rotunda, but cameras were waiting outside when the protesters were loaded one by one into a police van. That van, though, was forced to make slow progress by a growing group of protesters outside trying to get in its way. It was 2 of those protesters who ended up face down in the street just moments later.